Unity Water is proud to sponsor this podcast series because we believe great news, great solutions and great outcomes deserve to be shared. See what we're all about at unitywater.com. You're listening to the Australian Water Association's podcast series.
I'm Hazel Flynn, and joining me now is Kylie Rogers, Senior Planning Engineer for Mackay Regional Council. Hello, Kylie.
Hello, Hazel.
We're here to talk about a very interesting solution that Mackay Council came up with for sewer systems. Now, sewer systems are obviously a very vital and costly part of any council's operations, which means that being able to identify issues with them early is very important. Your council decided to actively find a better way to do this. What did you do?
Well, that's right. I think one of the long-standing objectives of Mackay Regional Council has been to better understand our sewer performance because it affects so many of our business objectives. So essentially protecting public health, protecting the environment and essentially protecting our reputation. We don't want sewer spills and also cost to serve. So particularly in Mackay, we're a very flat catchment, lots of rainfall. When we get rain, I guess when it rains it pours, if you can say that essentially, so in some respects, and causes a lot of issues with inflow and infiltration. So we've previously spent millions of dollars, I guess, trying to target the source of the inflow and infiltration to prevent overflows, with not necessarily realising benefits realisation out of that. So we've, I guess, tried to do things smarter.
Well, that sounds always a good thing. And how did you set about doing that? You wanted to find a way to identify problems very early on. What did you do?
Yeah, well, Mackay, within the last about 5 years, has rolled out automatic meter reading for our water network. So we have an existing low-power communications network that we wanted to leverage off of. So it's been a very simple process for the water metering side, and I guess using that same technology for the sewer side, we came up with basically the same low-cost, simple system to monitor what was happening within the sewer network using that existing communications network.
In order to find out what you needed to do that, you actually found it very beneficial to identify what you didn't need as part of that system. Why was that so important?
Because basically we did a scan of the market and saw that all the stuff that was available were temporary. So we can basically put flow monitors in the system, but they're only there for a short period of time at a very high cost. So it's thousands of dollars to put in a flow monitor, and it's only in a certain part of the network, so it doesn't give you an overall view of what's happening. And essentially we just wanted to, I guess, come up with an alternative to those solutions to be a bit smarter about it.
So, and you also just didn't want to be paying for features you didn't need, is that fair to say?
Yeah, that's right. We all we wanted to know essentially was when a pipe is surcharging and when it's not surcharging. So when are we actually seeing a response from rainfall or not? And a lot of the market devices basically measure levels. There's conductivity probes. There's a number of other things, I guess, and smarts that we could have put on the monitors. But yeah, we decided it's not necessarily all the information that we needed for our objectives, which was just understanding how the sewer system performs in a certain weather event.
So the solution that you arrived at is surprisingly simple. Talk us through it.
It is. It's essentially just a float switch, so same sort of blue ball float switch that you'd see in any sort of sewage pump station. How it works is it's basically just a transmitter that we install at the top of the manhole. From that we have the dangling blue balls, if you'd call it that, float switches that measure. We basically set them at the top level of the pipe. When we see surcharge in the pipe, essentially it makes the switch turn on, and then we also have a sensor installed at the basically an overflow level as well. So we now get an understanding of essentially, when the switch turns on, it sends a message to our communications network that then basically feeds into a portal that we've created called My Sewer, and we can see in real time essentially what's happening in the sewer network and when things are surcharging.
Well, that data reporting is very important because it's one thing to collect the data, but that really doesn't do much good if nobody is recognising that there's an issue. So you have this system of sending an alert out, and then somebody is manually checking that.
That's right. So, it sends out a signal to the My Sewer portal, and it's essentially when we see that surcharge event or an overflow event, what happens is the planning team get an email alert letting us know, hey, this is happening, and so then we can basically log into My Sewer and essentially have a look at what's happening. But similarly, the networks team, so our plumbers, get a text message saying the same thing, saying this is happening, and rather than waiting for the phone call, which was traditionally how we do it, from somebody saying I've got a sewage overflow in my backyard, they're now getting a text message saying, hey, it's starting to surcharge, you need to get there before that happens.
And I understand that there was quite a price differential between the solution that you arrived at and some of those existing market devices you were talking about.
Well, that's right. I think our intent is to really put them across the entire network. So we didn't want, I guess, just solutions that were put in place for a short period of time and not necessarily giving us that signature of the catchment. So these devices are very easy to install. They're within the hundreds of dollars as opposed to thousands of dollars to install, which means that we can roll them out across the network.
And you've obviously found them to be effective.
We have. We've installed, we've been working with our technology supplier. So Taggle basically have done the communications networks for us previously for the water initiative, and that's who we're obviously working with for the sewer initiative as well. So far we've been through a few iterations of the devices. So being in a sewer environment, it's very corrosive, it's wet. Even getting a signal out of a manhole lid is very difficult too because it's a low power network, but we've been working in partnership with them to come up with a device that actually works, and starting to see some success now.
Oh, that's good. And the project is still at the trial stage, so what happens from here?
I think, the first thing that we're trying to do is just get the confidence that we're going to get the data that we need, and then from there, there's, I guess, no end of potential to what we can actually do with that data. So we're at the stage where we've been operating, I guess, probably with minimal failures for about the last 18 months to 2 years to the devices now, so definitely getting a lot more confidence. We're also working with our software provider as well, so with Tyware, to develop the My Sewer interface and constantly progressing, I guess, what that looks and feels like, so we can see that real-time spatial, I guess, understanding of what's happening in the sewer network. And we've also got the same devices installed on rain gauges as well, so we're now seeing that direct correlation with when it rains, essentially what's happening in that sewer network. So I guess the potential moving forward really is getting that real understanding of what happens to our network in rainfall events, but also in dry weather events as well.
You're really building up a detailed picture right through the system at any point in time.
Yes, that's right.
Well, thanks for coming in and sharing that with us, Kylie.
Thank you.
That was Kylie Rogers, Senior Planning Engineer for Mackay Regional Council. Thanks for joining us.